Hi, this is Dan, the Realty Man, coming to you from beautiful Ocala, wishing you well and hoping you're having a good day. Well, this is to all my friends over there on top of the world to see what the market was like in the month of September for villas. Now, this report is just concentrating on the villas over there on top of the world. We're going to see what the market is doing in there. Hey, and if you hang with me till the end of this video, I'll show you the villa that sold for the least amount of money and what had sold for the most amount of money. So let's get into our report and see what has happened over there during the month of September. Now, when we compare 2004 to 2005, the September report, we can see that the average listing price was about the same. And at this point, there's 57 villas that are on the market that are available to sell. And the average asking price is about $181 out there on those villas for 1,486 square foot of living space. But as we go down, notice what's happening at this point. When we go to what's pending, what has a contract on here? It hasn't closed, but they have a contract. Notice what's pending. There's 18 units pending at this point. That's a good sign. But the average price of those that are under contract is down quite a bit. That's down to $169,000, $172,000. So less than what the average asking price is. So it's shown if you want to sell, you got to be less than that average asking price. And notice, it took 141 days for what's under contract right now, but before they did get a contract on it. But now notice the sold, friends. So last year, if you had a villa and you sold it, the average price would have been a little over $177,000. This year, in September, the average price was $147,700. That's almost $30,000 less than what it was last year. So we can see what the market is doing right now, although the square footage is off a little different, so you can adjust for square footage, but that's still substantially less than what they sold for last year. Now, what the report doesn't show is how many that listed their property for sale. They had the intentions of selling, but they took it off or it expired for one reason or another. There was 10 of those last month. So 10 villas were put on the market, but for some reason they didn't sell, they expired or were canceled. Now, if you'd like to know some more information about that, let me know. But let me show you really now what sold for the least amount of money. Over here on Southwest 94th Court, this unit was listed at $119,900. It was on the market for 3 months, and notice it sold down at $103,000. And that was a little over 1,400 square foot of living space in that unit. Now, the unit needed updating in there. It looked okay, but it looked like it needed a lot of updating. So whoever bought that's going to go in and fix it up according to their taste. Now, the unit that sold for the most amount of money, well, this was the one on Southwest 93rd Place. This unit here was listed for $232,500. Now, it was on the market for 105 days, but it sold for $220,000. Now, that's a pretty good price on that, but notice it was $1,748. It was one of the bigger units out there, 1,748 square foot of living space with the 2-car garage, and it even included the golf cart. But this place was fixed up real nice, and a buyer, all they needed to do was go in there and make it home. Well, that's the information I have for you, friends, as far as the villas on top of the world. If you want information about a specific unit, give me a call, let me know. If you're thinking about buying or selling, give me a call. I can help you out with that. With over 36 years in the business, I am here to help you achieve your real estate goals. Well, listen, this is Dan, the Realty Man, with Next Generation Realty, wishing you well, hoping you have a great day. And hey, do me a favor, hit that like button down there. Thanks a bunch for watching now. Take care.